Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Bilikis. How are you all doing? Sorry, it's been a while. I've been so busy with so many projects, but I'm back with another tutorial on how to make a circular handkerchief flare. This could either be a skirt, peplum, or a dress. Yeah, it could be a dress that you don't have to attach the upper bodies, just a circular handkerchief dress. You can actually use this method. So this method applied to all I've just mentioned. So now first, let us just look at the diagram. Don't mind the diagram, but the concepts. Looking at these two skirts we have here, looking at the handkerchief angles, you will see one is more exaggerated than the other. So on a normal day, this is what the average one looks like. And to achieve this type of skirt or peplum or whatever, you will need to take the skirt length of the shorter part, just from your waist to these shorter points, and then you're going to have something like this. Yes, I will explain in details. Then if you want this exaggerated one, like the one on the thumbnail, you can see the angles are protruding more than this average one. There is a way we go about this, which I'm also going to explain. So it's like a 2-in-1. I'm sure you can't just wait to get to know how I'll do this. So what are the measurements needed? You need the waist circumference that is around your waist. So for instance, here I have 36 inches. Then the length of the skirt, that is the shorter part from your waist to this shorter part. So let's just say 18. Then another important thing you need to derive is the waist radius. So how do you do that? Just note the waist circumference, which is 36 plus 1 inch seam allowance. With this 1 inch seam allowance, you are going to have 1 inch seam allowance on both sides of the skirt after cutting it through for the zipper. But in case you just want half an inch on both sides, then just add 0.5, which is half. Note that. So now when you add that up, you have 37 inches, and then you divide by 6.28. The 6.28 is the standard for circular skirt, a full circle skirt. While for a half circle, it is just 3.142. Now when you divide 37 by 6.28, you're going to have a radius of 5.9. So for somebody with measurement of 36, you're going to have a waist radius of 5.9. And for this tutorial, I'll be making use of this, my miniature mannequin. So, and for her waist, it is 13 inches. And then the length of the skirt, I will just want the length to be about 7 inches from here. So I want the shorter part to stop here. So the extended one could just be like 11, 12, 13. So I'm going to explain that on the fabric as we cut it out. So have a note that for the mini mannequin, here is the measurement. The waist circumference is 13 inches and I want the length to be 7. So waist radius for the little mannequin now will be 13 inches plus half. I want half an inch on both sides since it is mini. So when I add that up, I'll have 13.5 divided by 6.28, which will give me 2.15. So all you have to do is to impute your waist circumference into this equation. The waist circumference plus 1 inch, because this is for the mini mannequin, divide by 6.28. That is all. After doing that, now let's go to the fabric. Make sure you get enough fabric for your size. Here I have a fabric enough for the mini mannequin. So all I did is the same way we fold for a full circle. This is what I have here. As you can see, first fold this way. So after folding it once this way, as you can see, then I will have to fold again. See, so make sure everything is even. After doing that, the first thing I'm going to insert is the waist radius. So whatever calculation you have for yours, you're going to insert here. So for the mini mannequin, it is 2.15. Place it at the apex here, and then you keep rotating it. 2.15. Now we have gotten the waist radius. Then remember, for the length of the skirt now, for this mini mannequin it is 7 inches. So I'm just going to add this 7 inches to the waist radius. So 7.2.15, that would be 9.15. So let's go back to that of the 36 inches. So if you want to insert the length on your fabric, all you have to do is to add up this 18 inches, the length of the skirt, plus 5.9 to get the length of the skirt, because you have to add this radius to the length of the skirt. So that means 18 inches plus the radius 5.9. So whatever you get will be what you insert. So now for this mini, all I have to do is to add 7 inches to this 2.15, and that will give me 9.15. 9.15 is here. You don't need to waste your time to form a circle. Yes, I said so. Then come to this other side, insert the 9.15. So once you've done this, then you can just connect it in a square form. Yes, and then you will achieve this average one. Trust me on that. So to make it accurate, I'm just going to come here, the 9.15. Just to make it accurate. So we are as good as done. So can you see that? Now you might be wondering that how will I have to achieve this handkerchief flare? That is because when you look at this point at the longest part, all you have to do, come to the middle, insert the 9.15, which is here. So here, this is the same length as this point and this point. You can see it is more extended. So that is, so here we have about 13. So that is why you are going to have this, and that's why I told you it's not stressful at all. So now we have this average one with just the shorter measurement. But in a case whereby you want this exaggerated one, it is very easy. All you have to do is to still extend this angle 45. Now after extending it, you can just extend here. So for the average one, I have the extended part to be 11 inches. Remember, for the shorter one I measured on the mini mannequin, it was 7. Looking at it here, it was 7 inches. But here now for the longer part, I have it to be 11. That's for the average. But in case of this longer one now, I'm just going to extend to make it, instead of that 11, I can just make it 14 or 15. So I'm adding like extra 4, 3 or 4 is okay. But on you yourself, you can extend it to like, let's say 6, 7, depending on how exaggerated you want it to be. So it's just the same way, or better still, just measure on yourself. Since I want the shorter one to be 7, so I can just make the extended one to be 15 or 16, depending on your preference. So you can measure that on yourself too, or just on the average add 6, 7, 8, depending on how you want it. So since we know that to be now 15, 14 or 15, so I'm just going to extend that to be, let's say 14 is just fine. So after doing that, all you have to do is to connect from that point back here. You see what, that was pretty easy. Then you can cut. So for the exaggerated, so looking at the shape is already looking beautiful. That's it. If you want the average, you have to cut it the square part. After doing that, the next thing is to cut the radius. So this is what you're going to have. So beautiful. Now cutting up the seam allowance. On a normal day, when we cut a circular peplum or skirt, you just slit one part here. No, in this case, you won't have to do it that way. You come to this middle here and then just slit one particular one, because this has to be the center front and the center back, and these are just going to be pointing at the sides. Isn't that beautiful? So that is it. So I'm going to put it on the mannequin for you to see. But just looking at it, you can see it has already formed the exaggerated handkerchief flare. If you want the average one, just cut it this way. So let me put it on the mannequin. This is what the skirt looks like, and it looks heavenly. Can you see that? Looking at it is just so wonderful. You can see the pointed part, so lovely. This is the back. Can you see that? If this tutorial has been helpful, please give me a giant thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. So I want to see dresses with the circular handkerchief flare and even peplum. So you can check out my other channel, Pattern Drafting with Bilikis. In case you're interested in our monthly online classes and sewing tools, use the contact number in the description box below. Follow me on Instagram, Bilikis Signatures, and on Facebook, Sewing Innovations. I have to go right now. Bye guys.